What's quack-a-lacking, guys? I'm a Duck Quack here, and welcome back to another episode of That Much. So in this episode, we're looking at the 6th episode of how much that we did, if that makes sense. It's all getting a bit confusing. So in this episode, the first player we looked at was Pishek. Now, we'd mentioned him in the previous episode, but he'd fallen to a price that I was happy to invest in, so we came back to him again. Now, on Xbox in this episode, he was selling for 62,000 coins. He'd fallen to a price that was ready to pounce on him. Now, if anyone picked him up, as you can see now, the cheapest on the market is 80,000, and there's only one card of him up for that price. If you picked him up just a week ago, you've already made about 17,000 coin profit, and he looks like he's still rising. So again, we had another successful choice. Right, guys, so the second player we looked at in that episode was Renato Sanchez. Now, my logic for picking him up was that Bayern had a packed fixture coming up. Champions League games, Bundesliga games against low teams that he might get a run out in. Now, he was ill, so he didn't actually make the squad, let alone the team. But that aside, even if he had been making the squad, looking back and from what a lot of you guys said, I do think that this was a bad suggestion. If we check now, he's hovering about 2,000 coins cheaper. So after tax, you'd be making about a 4,000 coin loss if you were to sell him now. So the problem with Sanchez is everybody would love him to get an inform, and if he did get a Team of the Week card, this would be going through the roof. It would be easily 200,000 coins for this card during the initial hype around it. The problem is he's not playing, he's not going to get to play. When he does come on, it's a substitute for the last 15-20 minutes maybe, and he's never looking absolutely outstanding. From a defensive centre mid role as well, the chances of him having a huge impact on the game, scoring, even assisting is so low. So definitely looking back at this investment, it wasn't the best possibility. Right, guys, so the third and final player we looked at in the episode was the left mid from Atletico Madrid. Gaishan is how I think you say his name. Probably horribly wrong, and I apologise if so. But anyway, we wanted some cheaper players because you guys said it was all a bit expensive. So we had a little look at this guy. When I made the video, he was selling for 3,800. Now, if you follow me on my Twitter, he actually dropped even further down to 3,000 coins. And I tweeted out saying everyone needs to buy this guy because he's just too cheap. Now, he rose to about 6,000 coins at his peak. But if we have a look at the moment, he's extinct on the market for 5,400 coins. If you picked him up at 3,000 coins, you're making about 2,500 per card. Even if you picked him up when I said at 3,800, you're making over 1,500 coins per copy of him that you picked up. So this has been one of the best cheap investments we've seen in so long. Now the reason for this is he's used in the Suarez SBC. He's an 85 rated as well. So this card is going to have huge potential if any Team of the Week SBCs or anything along those lines get released. There was just way too much potential for him to be selling for anything less than 5,000 coins. So guys, if you're still enjoying this mini-series, just where we look back at how our investments went, if you can make sure you drop a like, leave a comment if you've got any questions about anything, and subscribe if you're new, that would be absolutely incredible. Remember, I will leave my Twitter down in the description, so if you do want to follow me on that, I will be tweeting out when I see deals, good pickups, investments, etc, etc. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.